live.
Yeah. Our itty bitty little our itty bitty little podcast is live. Star Wars VII.
The
Watched it.
long wait is over.
It is. Really long wait.
Yes.
I'm just gonna ask. So, did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So it was interesting. So this is my second
That's not a good word.
second time of Star Wars anticipation.
Okay.
This went much better than the last.
Okay.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was definitely something I'd see again. It wasn't perfect. Perfect would have been nice. Perfect's kind of a tall order. There were Jeans and I had exchanged pleasantries leading up to this, and she mentioned she had some quibbles. And prior to me seeing it, she said, "I have quibbles," and I was like, "Well, I'm a more forgiving person than Jeans. I'm sure I'll be fine."
Is
But
that what
indeed,
you? Yeah.
I have a few too. I mean,
Okay.
low grade quibbles. Not. I mean. So I did enjoy it. I'm glad it's back, and I'm excited with the general arc. And you? This is a great idea. Let's do a podcast where you're not going to express your opinion. Where you just,
All right. So we've established that this is going to be a spoiler fest. You cannot kill Han Solo and expect me to be happy. It's just not going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. So warning.
Ever.
Very, very clear. Anyone watching this, if you haven't seen the movie, we're going to talk about all the things that happened in it. So if you got to this point and haven't seen the movie, and Jean's just kind of shared a little bit something with you, telling you spoilers split second before she blurted out.
Spoiler. This show is always spoilers, though. We don't do anything but spoilers on this show.
It was in the tweet. People should know better. Should maybe tweak the title on the YouTube video as well. But if he had to go, good way for him to go. Yes? I mean, again, I know you're not going to be team glad he's gone.
No, it's Han Solo.
Unfortunately for me, and I did my best to steer clear of all spoilers prior to it. However, Google Plus is a terrific platform if you want to ruin things for people, because you can throw an image up there and someone scrolling through, there's really no point of escape. You see it. And some clown had posted a picture of that scene in the bridge right when it happens, and then right underneath it, in case you missed it, Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. So I knew the bridge wasn't going to turn out well.
Right. I think we all knew just watching it wasn't going to turn out well, but yeah.
Well, it was interesting. A good friend of my daughter's down in Florida, and she went to the premiere, and she indicated that their theater erupted in applause when Kylo Ren dropped his mask. Like,
really?
Oh, he's won over, and our theater was far more aware that this was not going to end well. There was no applause. It was like, wasn't looking good.
Now I'm a clapper, and you know how I am. I'm loud, and there are a couple of parts that I was like, "Woo!" But they were just quiet. They're all silent. They were no fun. Doesn't stop me though. Anyway, I think personally, from a villain standpoint, once he pulled that mask off the first time, he was like neutered for me. I mean, even though he killed Han Solo later, he just doesn't have a villain look to him enough for me. I mean, I don't have like a set of descriptions like what a villain should look like. But he took off his mask, and I was like, that's him, really? He was so much more intimidating before he took the mask off, and then I was just sort of like,
He looked like a Jonas brother a little bit,
a little bit. Han and Leia have a baby, and that's what it looks like? No.
Yeah, At least his hair wasn't up in buns or something like that. Which would have been kind of funny, actually. This is what turned me to the dark side. But, yeah, however, I mean, he got messed up at the end, so maybe he'll come back looking a little meaner. More to your liking
like
from a villain point
Scar
of view.
from Lion King or something, yeah.
Well, I feel like something. My hunch is he's going to have a little bit of something going on now with the face because he got messed up.
Well, and I didn't understand that entirely either. I mean, I got Vader with the mask because I mean that boy fried. We all know. I mean, he was on fire, but Kylo had no reason to wear the mask.
I think he's just kind of emulating to a degree, kind of the it's a look, so mask look, those types of things. So overall, though, setting aside a character,
beloved character,
who wanted to die like a long time ago. He wanted to be off in Empire Strikes Back, so he finally gets his wish.
Yeah, I guess.
Can you walk around that for a second? And what'd you think outside of that?
I liked a lot of the other things about it. I have to say, I know that there was a lot of like P&Ming about Kylo's lightsaber. Initially, like when the very first trailer came out, like months ago, people were like, "What the?" They were all up in arms about how it looked. That is a badass lightsaber. That lightsaber was awesome. The whole your chair shook when he turned that thing on. You're like,
it's got a nice rumble to it.
Oh, it's definitely awesome. It was
like a diesel lightsaber.
It is. For the win. It was awesome. Best lightsaber ever. That thing rocked.
And he kind of stuck it in Finn's shoulder. I think. See, there you go. That's how those things are handy. See, there you go. Gave you a little poke. So it's like,
yeah.
So for me, the biggest positives, like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go watch it again. I'm excited. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but some of the things I really, really liked was the reintroduction of humor.
Yes.
Effectively. Because there were attempts to be funny in the prequels.
Right.
Really bad, and I'm a pun guy. I love me some puns. That's great.
I know.
But when you got C-3PO in the arena going, "Oh, I'm beside myself," when his head is beside themselves, or "What a drag!" It was so forced.
Yeah.
And the humor here was great between Han and
Chewie
Finn.
Was awesome.
Chewie was hilarious. Harrison Ford was hilarious. I mean, it's boom, boom, boom. The John Boyega, the guy who played Finn, he was really funny. I loved a lot of his stuff.
I was dying when he asked her if she had a cute boyfriend she had to go back to. That was fantastic. Oh, and insecure stormtrooper.
Yep.
What? That was great.
He was smitten pretty early.
Yeah.
And I love the Rey character. Rey character is to me without a fault in terms of she's scrappy, gets things done. Yeah. Has compassion, doesn't like to have her hand held. All things that I go, these are good qualities in a person.
No, and she kicked ass too.
Yeah, she's very she's good with the stick. I don't know what the staff thing is called beyond the staff thing, but she's very good with that.
Staffing fighter. Yeah, she's a good staffing fighter.
Good staffing fighter. Yeah. The new TIE fighters or the revised TIE fighters, nice, like them.
Yes.
X-wings, and a lot of the choices they made, they kind of pulled closer to some of Ralph McQuarrie's original drawings on some of the things. So the X-wings reflect a little more of that. I think they did somewhat of the same thing in Star Wars Rebels, that they're kind of pulled from some of that. BB-8, which I was concerned was going to wear thin in a hurry, gets a lot of screen time. I thought it was pretty good. Kind of does the puppy dog droid head tilt a little more than needed to, but was, I thought, a pretty fun character.
Yeah, that's good. The whole thing though was really super similar to New Hope.
How can you say that? It wasn't like there was a desert planet, someone who's good at fixing things, a large round thing that's dangerous, with a small flaw that they look to exploit that you access via a trench. Now, beyond those minor little points, totally different. There was no trap.
No, Akbar didn't get to say that. If that wasn't even Akbar, he looked like him. I don't know.
Dude should have been fired. I'm surprised he still got a job.
I like the what was his name? Poe?
Poe, yeah.
Yeah, I
Poe.
liked him. He was pretty awesome. He's a super cool pilot. I think he did really well. I don't quite understand how she was such a good pilot, never having gone anywhere. But more power to her.
Yeah, she seems very
good.
mechanically inclined, but I'm not sure that translates into knowing how to pilot a.
No, I knew a mechanic that put her car in reverse going, 30 miles an hour down the street. So it doesn't always, and she was really good at what she did.
Yep.
Not so much. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they were trying to use the Force to explain like all the things with her, because she obviously had a lot of it going on. She was very sort of Luke in that way, probably more so than Luke. She seemed to catch on to her powers a lot faster than Luke did.
Yeah, really quick study.
Yeah.
By the way, the stormtrooper that she did the mind trick with, Daniel Craig, yes.
James Bond.
How awesome with one of the best laughs of it at the end, where she's like, you release the restraints, and then as he's walking up, oh, and you'll drop your gun, and I will drop my gun.
That was awesome.
It was good. It was funny.
That was fantastic. Oh, Greg Grunberg. That was a fun surprise. I did not expect to see him there. Love Greg Grunberg. Big ass fighter.
Yeah, there was tons of cool little Easter eggs here and there. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I found the whole, when Rey's trying to repair the Millennium Falcon and she's asking Finn for things, and he's clearly not understanding her, and she's like, the thing I'm pointing to, and he's like, this. One of the things he holds up is the remote droid that was used by Luke on the Millennium Falcon to practice when Ben was first training him. So that was kind of a nice little thing there. But that was hilarious, and the exchange of thumbs up between Finn and BB-8, I loved. Yeah. It's a simple, silly thing, but I thought it was cute.
I don't know that it was a thumbs up from BB-8. I thought that was more like a warning from him. Oh yeah, thumbs up. Yeah.
He
was like, okay, you're lying for me. This is great. And BB-8 was like, I'm giving you a warning. like,
so that's a great question, because we don't know if it was this or this.
Yeah, exactly.
I went for this, but yeah, as we've established, I'm the more positive, forgiving one on the show. So.
Yeah, that's something like that. But yeah, I felt like Finn, because Finn's trying to get BB-8 to lie for him, and he's like, oh good, you're lying for me, and I felt like, because BB-8 was not agreeing with him initially and was not going to lie for him, and sort of like was kind of on the fence about it, and then I felt like that was like, I'm lying for you, but you're in trouble. That's what I felt like, because it was what was that? It was like a blowtorch.
It's like a little, it was a starter pilot light.
So yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought it was more like.
So isn't it amazing that you kind of attach that much of BB-8's attitude to the conversation out of a character whose vocal contributions consists of beeps and boops and little movements of a dish on top of a wall? Yeah, that's pretty cool that they're able to storytell that way.
They did a really good job with him. He's a good character. I thought he was fun.
They showed, this has always been one of my quibbles with the previous Star Wars. R2-D2 and stairs, don't see those working really well.
Yeah.
They showed BB-8 navigating stairs.
Ka-chunk. Down the stairs.
And down. They showed the down. The up might have been interesting.
Yeah, really.
But it was pretty cool to see that. But you mentioned some quibbles beyond the big. Obviously, you've brought forward the big quibble that you have. I have a couple minor ones that really all are at the end of the movie.
You got a party going on back there. I can hear it. You're fine. I didn't have too many, other than the fact that it was really similar to New Hope. and the science behind sucking a star into a planet, sort of, I don't know. And it was funny because I guess Neil deGrasse Tyson was on Twitter this morning, with all of his commentary, and he also mentioned that, because, and I know Bronwyn, she has that rule about sort of like, sciencing, and as long as you don't explain it, it works. It just bugged me so much.
So I think I established in some of the past conversations on the science in Star Wars, as soon as you accept the fact that a laser can stop 2 to 3 feet out and terminate,
and terminate,
repeat, and retain just there, as soon as you kind of say that's okay, then I give it a lot of latitude. But my quibbles, my big ones, is the big fight at the end between Finn, Ren, and Kylo, where eventually became Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
So she takes him down, knocks him down, has really won the fight, and is about to take him out when the planet spaceship Starkiller thing starts, really breaking apart.
Yeah.
And it just felt to me like, I hit you, you fall down, you're 2 feet in front of me, the earth shakes, we stop, you're now in a chasm 25 feet away from me. The distance between her and him seemed to exponentially grow, and it wasn't as if he was on a piece of land that slid back. It was like, how did that distance happen?
I don't know, because the rest of the chasms that they were showing was Earth dropping into the chasm. This was a split, which seemed odd. Yeah.
And maybe that created the distance, which I'll grant.
But I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. However, right after that, they jump on the Falcon to leave.
Yeah.
And they cut back to.
How did Chewie even find her?
Yeah, so there's a good question. How fortuitous? Oh, here you go. And so he's there. What I find even more fortuitous is, meanwhile, back in Nazi Central, where they're at in their thing, they're like, Snoke goes, time to go, get Kylo Ren and get out of there. So they're in their command center. How do they know where he is? How do they get to him in apparently 3 to 5 minutes to get him before things go? And so it's just the whole process of him being safe. I'm not sure how they got to him. So that just felt a little too easy.
Right.
And the thing I'm super excited about is Captain Phasm? What's Gwendolyn Christie's character's the Chrome Trooper?
Yeah.
Didn't have a particularly big role this time. Apparently is going to be in the second movie and have a bigger role.
That was my favorite joke, by the way.
Yeah.
That when she's being mouthy, and Finn is apparently when he was aboard this giant planet ship, his role was sanitation, and Han Solo's and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with her, and Han Solo's like, do you have a trash compactor? It's like, we do. Yeah.
Yes, we do. And apparently,
awesome.
These trash compactors are very sturdy, because somehow she's going to make it out and come into the next episode. So somehow the trash compactor must have saved her. So
I loved her. I love the fact that there were women on board. Number one, there was actual women actually in the ship with functions. They were doing things, because that was not the case in the first one. There were actual women, and there was even women who were kicking ass. So that was awesome too. Yeah, she was in charge. That woman with her bright, shiny silver stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, it's fancy. It was definitely. Fancy.
Was very, yes.
Well, she got a heck of a body check from Chewbacca.
She did. I know. Yeah, she kind of had her ass handed to her right there.
But 7-foot Wookiee blindsiding you.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. You're not coming out on top of that too often. So.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good story. I do think And they're like, well, this isn't the Death Star. Look how much bigger it is than the Death Star. It's still a ball. It's still a ball. Still a ball of danger
Yeah,
with
Ball
one
of
small
Danger.
weakness point.
Like that's
So
gonna be the next one. Star Wars Ball of Danger.
yes, it'll be. This is. Yeah. So they really can't get. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think it will be something different, and it'll be interesting. So, what do you think? Rey's lineage, is she Luke's daughter? Do you think, or just somebody else
Hmm.
who happens to be Force midichlorianly gifted?
I would say midichlorianly gifted.
Yeah, somebody left her, and we just
Yeah.
don't really know who.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. But I mean, I thought all the new characters they introduced are all the kind of characters you can get behind and be interested in on the light side.
Right, and that was what I was concerned about was that they were gonna basically initially when I heard they were gonna do 7, I thought, oh great, it's gonna be just like 1, 2, and 3, and they're gonna start plugging in all these big actors, and it was so much better that they didn't, and that they will become big actors now. They'll definitely hit the A-list now, but I like the fact that I had no idea who these people were. It was so much better that way.
Yep.
Because you have no expectations then, I mean, when you see Samuel L. Jackson, I mean, as a Jedi, no, I expect him to start dropping, mutterfudders all over the place. I don't expect him to be a Jedi. It just doesn't, it doesn't compute in my head. So that was good, I thought.
So in summary,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying see it. I enjoyed it. There's a little room for improvement. It was great. I really enjoyed it. There's room for improvement. The next director is Ryan Johnson. I'm familiar with Ryan from some of his work on Breaking Bad, some of the best Breaking Bad episodes he directed. So I think it's in good hands. And I think it was already good.
Yeah.
And it's a great return. And hopefully it just keeps getting better. Your thoughts?
I totally got behind the lack of CGI that was apparent through most of the movie. There were a few things. One of the bar owner chick, she was definitely CGI, but I was very much behind the fact that they did not use nearly as much CGI in this as they had previously. It was so much better without all of that. And I loved all the technology. The new stuff was so much fun. The new ships and the new lightsabers, and I mean, even Luke's old saber had a little more oomph to it than it did originally. I love.
And again, another reason this movie is completely different. The bar layout was completely different than the cantina. It was an entirely different band of similar looking characters playing. So completely different.
Yeah, another similarity that was not the same.
I don't even know where you could see a parallel.
Yeah. So it seemed like they were definitely kind of going back to their roots, and I think that was probably a good thing to do. And it's a little bit of a rehash, but it was fun. It was almost like a reboot, a little bit. And I'm going to get shot for that. People are going to throw vegetables at me for that one.
I'm not going, because reboot is, when you really, I mean, this is an extension of the character's story. I definitely, I mean, this has been, I don't know what the right word to use is for. Something has been redone. There's a recalibration of how the information is delivered. And to me, one of the biggest things is, I'll come back to what I kind of started off with. Good humor in this and kind of clever interplay between the characters is a big part of what makes these movies good, and that was really kind of absent in the prequels.
Yeah, and
in my opinion.
The Empire Strikes Back, that was one of my favorite things, was sort of the interplay between characters, and it was good to see that here, and go back to kind of like some funny, because, and maybe that's just because that's me, and that's how I am. I'm kind of sarcastic and snarky, and I have a little bit of a mouth on me, and so like for me, you know, the sort of when they clean it up and then they make it all silly, that's not how people around me talk. We're all sarcastic and kind of persnickety. So I appreciate that. That was good.
Who's in charge? Who's in charge now? Who's in charge? I'm in charge.
That was good.
Hot.
I like Flynn. Flynn was
game.
awesome. Yeah, Flynn was awesome. He was a good
Good
character. All right, yeah, I say go see it.
Me too.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what they'll do with it now.
And warning, folks, there's spoilers in this show if you've been watching it.
There's always spoilers. Like anybody who watches our show knows there's spoilers.
That's true. That's true.
We are like the good ship spoiler.
Indeed.
All right. All right. So 2 thumbs up. Go see it. It was fun.
Yay.
Yay. Okay.